what I wanted to ask you, Ted, as we sort of close this out, and it's the feeling that I get sitting here looking at all of these portraits of stars, because of my own age, I suppose, although I do discover that young people, because of television and late shows and cassettes, are equally aware of an awful lot of these people, particularly the really good ones, because it reaches them. But for me, of course, I lived through, as you did, the same period of time, and all of them had great meaning to me. I've always talked about movies as being sort of a secret finishing school, where you could fantasize whatever it was, and you could learn whatever you had to learn by watching the taste and the manners and the lifestyle and the approaches of any of these people. But here I sit in your office, essentially, and surrounded by these extraordinary pictures of all of these people, and they're such stars. I mean, one is talking really about the kind of stars that are major forces in all of our lives. And, I turned it off.
Oh.
We were interrupted by the doorbell. Just to briefly repeat, what I want you to sort of think for a moment as to what all this means to you, because I'm overwhelmed by seeing the major stars that affected the golden age of motion pictures, and these extraordinary photographs that capture the very quality that made them great stars. But you did these pictures, and they live with you, and I can sense your disappointment at what didn't happen in terms of cinematography or production or whatever. But think of how fabulous that you have given us all this extraordinary treats. I mean, these are wonderful pictures.
Well, when someone suggested that if I was going to continue on and do more glamour photography, somebody should be able to see some of my work without having to go through magazines or go through piles and stacks of pictures, and why not put a few photographs on the walls here? If you're going to use this, your studio that they built on the roof here is now being used by my daughter as an apartment. If you're going to shoot pictures in other parts of the house, we should have some sort of a display. And I said, I don't think I could do that. I've got some nice oil paintings and on the walls here, and I think it'd be pretty grotesque to have all these dead people on the walls. And I relented because of all these magnificent negatives that were suddenly discovered one day. I got a shot of adrenaline and went down and went out and bought a big roll of sensitized paper and wouldn't dare let anybody else print them. So I printed them, and after I printed them, I thought, my gosh, maybe I should put these on the walls and display them. It might be kind of morose, I might become very depressed, in as much as these are all at least 50, 55 years ago, and that's half a century. That's about a fourth of the age of the United States, and it's a damn good part of my own life, so maybe it isn't such a good idea. But I put them up on the walls and covered the oil paintings, left the same frames that I have with the oil paintings, and put the portraits in them or over them. And this has been going on now for about 5 years, and everybody's so intrigued and interested and fascinated that I can't resist. I'm living with them now, and every day or so I look them over and appreciate them, and so it worked out all right. It wasn't a depressing
Absolutely.
point.
I think it's an extraordinary collection that you have. And the fact that they are all things that you shot yourself, but it's more than just the nature of the fact that you're a fine artist and photographer. It's also that you've captured a slice of some of the most significant history of the 20th century. Motion pictures, affected the world in a way that nobody ever dreamed that anything could affect the world. or that the tribes in Africa would be watching Charlie Chaplin or Garbo, or I mean, it's quite extraordinary. Anyway, on behalf of the Fashion Institute and the Resource Center in New York City, it's a great honor and a great pleasure to deal with this particular experience. I'm just overwhelmed by your talent and the beauty of these things and the magic of them. And I just want to say thank you very much.
Thank you.